friends, welcome to my channel. It's Megan and today is day 2 of the reading rush. So last night I was able to finish The Cruel Prince. This was not actually on my TBR for the reading rush, but it is on my TBR for the Book Junkie trials, and it was my Glimmer prompt. So now that I've finished this, I can move on to the Dragonic Isle. And for the Dragonic Isle, I have Dragon Ball volumes 4 through 6 in the collection, and I'm going to be reading this as the prompt of read a book in the same spot. So I'm hoping to at least get through volume 4 today, and that will be today's conquest. But back to what I was saying about The Cruel Prince. I finished it last night and I'm very torn on how many stars to give it. Upon initial reaction to it, I gave it 5 stars for the ending, but upon further reflection, I think it might be more of a 4.5 stars because the beginning was so hard to get through for me. I love the story and I surprisingly really like the characters, even though they're all awful people, but I just kept getting really distracted and was never truly sucked in until the end, and that's why I initially gave it 5 stars for the ending. But overall, this was really hard to stay focused on, and I did really enjoy the ending, and I cannot wait to pick up Wicked King. And yeah. I've also made some good headway into All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I'm now on page 206. I've been reading it as an audiobook, and normally I don't read audiobooks unless I've read the book before, but because I've seen the movie, I figured it'd be okay. I really want to get into books, like audiobooks, that aren't stories I've read before, because I really want to try to get more into audiobooks because I drive a lot and I'm going to be driving a lot for my job, but I also am able to just like listen to audiobook while I'm doing just like mundane busy work while at my job. So I want to get into more audiobooks, but I'm very limited on what ones I can read just because I'm limiting myself to ones that I already know the story of. So if you can recommend me some good audiobooks down below, that would be awesome. I've heard Sadie is a really good one. I've heard Daisy Jones and the Six is really good. But yeah, if you can recommend some down below, that would be awesome. But so far, I'm on page 206 and I'm really enjoying it. It's such a cute little story and I loved the movie. There's definitely some elements, as always, in the book that aren't in the movie, and I'm enjoying those further details, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying this. It's definitely like a fluffy story and I'm okay with that. So right now it's a 5 out of 5 stars. So as I said earlier, my goals for this evening are to finish at least volume 4 of the Dragon Ball manga. I left off with Goku in this strongest person in the world tournament of sorts, and it was like volume 3 ended right before his final match, or right before his second to final match or something. It ended during the tournament, so I'm interested to see where it goes from here. Really excited to get started on this again because I've been slacking on reading this series, but I will be picking it up tonight. But I would also like to start on V.E. Schwab's The Near Witch. I'm not really sure what this is about. I think it's about this near witch that used to be just like a folklore or like a story told to scare the children, but the near witch is real and this girl is figuring that out. Not entirely sure, but I'm interested to see where it goes. So I love V.E. Schwab's work. A Darker Shade of Magic is one of my favorite series of all time. The Savage Song was really good. Vicious was really good. It was probably my most disappointing book, but it was still a good disappointing book, if that makes sense. It wasn't my favorite kind of story, but the writing was still sublime, and I love V.E. Schwab as a person, and I'm really intrigued to see what her first work was about. And then on top of those two, I plan to pick up Muse of Nightmares and hopefully read a couple chapters of this, just because I didn't at all last week, and I know this isn't part of the reading rush, but I don't care because I just want to read it. My TBR might flip around a little bit as we go throughout this, just because I'm realizing now that I probably should have added more of my Book Junkie Trials TBR into my Reading Rush TBR. So I'm going to be making a few changes as we go. For example, I'm going to try to pick up The Hobbit this week after I finish the Dragon Ball manga collection, but I'd like to pick this up as soon as I finish my To All the Boys I've Loved Before audiobook. I have this one on reserve at the library, so I'm going to try to read this on audiobook as well this week, and hopefully I'm going to actually accomplish like more than 2 books this week, and that'd be pretty cool. I don't know, we'll see. But those are my goals for today. So now moving on to the video challenge. So today's video challenge is hosted by Robbie Reads. I will link him down below. And I have never watched his channel personally, but now I'm gonna try to. But his challenge is to do 2 Truths, 1 Lie book edition. So you can either talk about 3 books, like you've read all 3, and then you have to try to choose which one I haven't actually read, and then 2 Truths, 1 Lie, which is bookish kind of truths and lies and that kind of thing. And I thought, why not do both, right? So I'm gonna do the which book have I read first. So the first is read If I Stay. I read it back in like 9th grade, I believe, and it's now a movie. This is by Gayle Forman. It talks about this girl who she is in a relationship and then somehow goes into a coma, and she's like conscious inside the coma somehow, and she is trying to decide whether she should just move on into like the afterlife or whatever her concept of the afterlife is, or come back to like being alive and being with who she was with, because there was just a lot of problems in the relationship and she just doesn't know if it's worth coming back, that kind of thing. So it's If I Stay, so she's deciding if she should stay or not. So the next book is called It's Not Summer Without You. It's by Jenny Han, who is the same author of To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and this is the book that actually got me kind of on Jenny Han, if that makes sense. So this is the one that kind of got me interested in To All the Boys I've Loved before I even saw the movie. This tells the story of Belly, who is on her final summer vacation before college, and she is just trying to make the most of summer vacation with her friend Taylor. But in the end, she finds out through a mutual friend of her ex that her ex has gone missing, so it's kind of a mystery romance in a way. And she has to decide whether she wants to spend her summer making the most of it and actually experiencing life, or if she wants to try to go find Connor. And the final book in our options is The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and this is also a movie, and it was a story about this box that people come up into this like world inside of a maze, and it's typically only boys, and then all of a sudden there's just a girl that appears in this box. So it's them trying to escape this maze, and it ends up, I don't want to give it away, but it ends up being not necessarily just a maze, but there's a lot of like politics involved, and there's a lot of action, and it's very like dystopian. It's really just a cool experience. Now I'm gonna give you 5 seconds before I tell you which of my 3 options I have not actually read. So as a reminder, that was If I Stay by Gayle Forman, It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han, and The Maze Runner by James Dashner. Okay, so the answer is It's Not Summer Without You by Jenny Han. I have never read this. I actually just recently acquired it, so if you watch my most recent book haul, you would probably know that this is not a book I have read. But I don't know if I gave accurate descriptions of either of these because it has been years since I've read either of them. So that was probably a hard TBR just because these two are both movies, so I probably could have given descriptions based on the movies, but again, I don't think I've ever watched the movie for this, and I watched the movie for this, but it was a long time ago, like right when it came out. But It's Not Summer Without You is the one I have not read, so I'm excited to read it. I just made up the description, so it's probably completely wrong, but I just kind of went off the synopsis and made it my own. But yeah, that's the answer. So I'm gonna do the other version of the challenge now, and my 2 truths and 1 lie are that I am subscribed to 3 bookish boxes. I have not finished a Darker Shade of Magic series, and Tara Mafi is my favorite contemporary author. Alright, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds again. And the lie is that I'm subscribed to 3 bookish boxes, and I'm only subscribed to 2, but I tend to buy a 3rd one just at random throughout the months. I'm currently subscribed to Owlcrite and Fairy Loot, and I will actually be receiving a Lit Joy crate this month. I'm gonna receive a bookish box crate in like September. Yeah, I just kind of buy willy-nilly like an extra 3rd box, but I'm not actually subscribed to 3 separate boxes. So yeah, that was the video challenge for day 2 of the reading rush. I'm going to go get some reading done, probably watch The Bachelorette because we didn't actually watch it last night because I took way too long filming my Owlcrite unboxing, and my parents went to bed before I got done, so we didn't watch The Bachelorette last night. Yeah. But I'm gonna take a bath, read some, watch The Bachelorette, try to read some more, and I might show you guys my reading journal. I don't know. So that was my evening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all had a wonderful day 2 of the reading rush. I will check in with you guys tomorrow for day 3. Bye, friends.